Hey guys, Marco here. Hopefully you're all doing well. In today's video, we are looking at editing, more specifically an editing contest. And this contest was put together by Constantine, a YouTuber that I follow that mainly shoots and edits videos related to the SIDEMEN. So we had shot all this footage for a SIDEMEN clothing brand, and it was up to us, the editors, the other creatives, to take all that footage and create a 30 to 60 second commercial with it. So without further ado, here's my entry. Not too shabby, right? Overall, I think I'm pretty happy with it. But now let's break down that 30-40 second commercial, how I approached it and why I did it the way I did. So that obviously started with me watching Con's video, being aware of the contest and deciding to participate. I had seen him do a few of these before, but I just didn't have the time to do them. Now that I did, I was like, I'm gonna take a stab at it. So that started with me downloading the footage, cutting the footage down, kind of organizing more or less the footage. So once all that was done, I pretty much had a 30-minute timeline full of footage and selects that Con had sent. And then that's where it started getting a little tough. So before I even touched any of the footage and brought it into a timeline to start creating, I wanted to make a game plan. So I went into the hashtag to see other people's entries, to see more or less what they're doing. I had watched some old Con videos of his contest to see what kind of content he likes. And then I watched some old SIDEMEN clothing brand commercials or other clothing brand commercials to kind of give me the style that I wanted to go. So after seeing all of that, I decided that my game plan was to create as clean and concise as a commercial as I can, and add a few edits here and there, but not oversaturate it so much. Because if there's one thing that I personally hate, it's over edited footage. So looking at my final timeline here, it more or less looks like a rainbow. That's because every single color on this timeline is designated to its specific location in this shoot. It was all just shot in a parking garage, but Con was smart enough to break up that one location into about 6 or 7 to give us, the editors, as much room to work with. So my light blue section was the moody garage. My brown section was kind of the inners of the parking garage. My green section was with the green lighting. My pink section was at nighttime with the pink lighting. My yellow section was the bright light top of the parking garage. The tan section was all close-ups of individual items. And the blue section focused on that blue-pink lighting again. So I knew, because we had 7 different locations, if I just cut between them willy-nilly, the cohesion and the story of the piece wouldn't work as well. You know, you'd be jumping from one thing to another, it just wouldn't mesh. So you can tell with the first little bit of the piece, when the music's slow and calm, I kind of grouped the shots together in more or less a rule of thirds kind of thing. Jumped to 2 shots of the inners of the parking garage, back to our 3 shots of the green, just setting up all those different locations. Which again, we follow that pattern with a few clips from the pink section, a few clips from the yellow section, back to the green, and then once the beat drops more or less around this section, you can see I kind of just rainbow the whole thing and cut from shot to shot to shot to shot to shot. And that's because we took our time in the first half of the piece to set up those locations and not kind of confuse our audience. And then once everything's established and that beat really goes in, cut to the music, cut between places, and it looks and works so much better. And I guess that leads into cutting to the music, which is it's a must. As I said before, the beginning bit is slower paced, so I have longer takes. But once the beat drops over here, you can tell some of the durations of these clips are less than a second, some of them, and they cut between really well with the music because it's more fast paced. And then once we had everything in place and everything was cut to the music, that's where I decided to kind of boost up certain parts. Again, when I had checked out some of the previous editing contests, I noticed that a lot of the winners or a lot of the people that did really well were clean edits, but also added a little bit of stylized editing as well. They didn't overdo it, but just enough to show that they understand how to do it and not to oversaturate it. So what I thought that would work really well with the footage, the style of the music, was some old film grain and kind of like glitchy effects. So I decided to add a little bit here and there, add some film burns, some sound effects to really make them pop. top. I had seen some attempts try these edits, but without those sound effects, it fell flat. That also involved doing some split screen stuff, which I thought worked really well on some of the inserts of the clothing. I didn't want to waste a full frame just to show like the insert of a jacket, so splicing that screen to show both saves time and it allows you to fit more in. And then, as I said, that glitch effect, which I got really good at doing from my previous short film. Back to that film stock again with those sound effects that really make it pop. Some simple yet stylized masked transitions. You know, just a little bit sprinkled here and there goes a long way. And then coming into the ending here, I had that glitch logo finish right there already. So if I just did the glitch at the end, I didn't feel like it would work as well. So I had to put it earlier on, you know, those setups and payoffs that make storytelling cohesive. So once I was happy with all that, all my editing worked, all my sound effects worked, it was time to color grade it. And again, I saw so many people forget to color grade their footage, and it takes you out of it immediately. Like, just look at the before and after on a shot like this. That is with a LUT color graded, and that right there is without a LUT. Like, it's night and day. And that's pretty much how I edited this thing. The editing contest is probably over by the time you guys are seeing this, but tips that I would give for future editing contests for really anything would be to take your time, really look at the footage, because you never shot the footage. So take your time to scrub through it, organize it to set yourself up for success. Next is remember, story is always king, and try and keep it as concise as you can. Just because something says 30 to 60 seconds, if you think a 40 to 30 second edit is cleaner and a lot more to the point than a 60-second edit, do that. Sound is so important. In case you didn't get that, sound is very important, guys. Don't forget it. And finally, a good color grade can go a long way, so take your time with it. But that is all for today. I'm crossing my fingers, hoping that I do well on the contest. If I do, if I win a prize or anything, I will be sure to keep you guys updated. If you've liked what you've seen, click that subscribe button to see more content like this. Follow all of my socials, they'll be linked in the description. And until next time, I'm Marco Pereira. Ciao for now.